So we have major earnings coming out here. Can bulls regain control? Let's take a look here with our daily SPY analysis. SPDR is closing at 601.78 for a gain of about 0.2% today, and we did reclaim that major 600 handle on the SPY, which puts us back into some positive gamma territory. Same thing with SPX 60.37, so good close there, and QQQ 520. So these are some good indications here, and you can see QQQ essentially testing that 510 area yesterday and getting a pretty good bounce off of that sloppy pattern here. But we do have some earnings out, and that is one. We'll start off with Google, obviously one of the bigger companies here. 191.76 after hours. I think right now this should get supported around. In fact, I pretty much know this should get supported around 185 if it tests there. That would be my guess right now, but you can see that coming down. We also have AMD, which got an initial pop and now is back down. So this stock just can't get out of its own way. And this is the stock that retail is just obsessed with buying the dip on. And I don't know. They might need to wash this thing out. We'll see. But AMD down a little bit here. We also have finally golf clap for Snapchat finally performing well on earnings. Usually this is a dumper on earnings and then it just rallies back throughout the rest of the quarter. But Snap up to the 13 handle, so right back to the highs here. Nothing great. I mean, if you cleared these highs and opened above that, then I think you could squeeze harder. But right now, just kind of in that $13 area. We also have everybody's favorite cult stock, Chipotle. Well, no, Tesla is, but Chipotle up at the 56 handle. It was up at 60, and now just kind of down a few dollars there. So is the market selling off? Not really. NQ is up still about 1% for the day, and we're still having, we're still holding this structure here, on the hourly. So, you still got like an hourly bull base that's being built, and I think if you get Google to bounce even back to just close to flat, that would be a huge positive there. We also had strength today in Apple, and Broadcom as well was a very strong one. Netflix also had a good day, making a new all-time high and a new all-time closing high. So wasn't terrible here. A nice recovery day. Exactly flat breadth, like almost to the exact. I mean, 250 to 249. So breadth was flat there. And overall, the market did claw back pretty nicely. If we look at the ES, that's a couple days, that's 2 days now in the last 7 where we tested 59.50. And I'll throw my lines back on there. You can see that we spiked it, made a slight new low, and we retraced this low overnight too. So this is the level we were talking about in the trading room this morning. A break above this would be bullish. We actually had some ES, bought some ES right here. Actually, it was a little bit before Jolts, which came out positive. And you can see bonds, which we'll talk about in a second, had a really nice day. It also helped the Russell, which you guys know I've had some of that too. It had a runner and been trimming that one on the way up as well. I love this pattern here on RTY. So this is what I mean here. When you gap below an inside bar, you flush it with a tail and then close back above. Usually that is a very good sign. And if this plays out here, I'm thinking this can still try for 23.50, maybe higher for the IWM if you're following that. That's probably just I would say to the break test, back test the breakout at we'll say 232, 233. And then you got like a whole round number at 235 above that. That may be getting ahead of ourselves. But we do have catalysts. We've got ADP tomorrow at 8:15, and we've got Amazon after the bell Thursday, and then we have obviously jobless claims and the non-farm payroll Friday. So there are catalysts for movement here, but right now I'm going to give the bulls a slight bias as long as we're holding above that 600 handle and NQ 21.5. So let me just always mess up my charts here, but there you go. The 21.5 previous all-time high, and it's been a point of control here for several weeks, several months actually. So positive gamma territory right now, and again, ADP could mess with that tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but right now, just give the bulls the benefit of the doubt as long as that is taking place. QQQ, a little bit of resistance at 525, and then 30 after that. SPY a little bit at 605, not a ton though. The big one is still 610. IWM, again, we talked about that. Good day there. Dow, nice day as well. So not as strong on the Dow, but up $1.26, and it's been strong lately. SMH here up 1.13. Still got a lot of work to do. Again, we got to clear that 250 handle. In the short term, 245 and then 250. So NVIDIA is still struggling here to get anything going. But luckily, you do have a lot of help from Broadcom. I like that pattern. That's continuing to firm up. Still have a runner on that. KLA up 1.25. TSM still holding up okay. No problems, really. I mean, you have the gap down here, but you're still making higher lows. And oh, and that's another thing, too, before I forget here. NQ, you know, if we start inching up again, especially if you can take this pivot out, but I think even if you just get close to it, you got 3 higher lows here on the daily. That's usually a very good sign. But yeah, you have some of these other semis that are sort of helping out here. Even ASML bouncing back nicely. We'll see if AMD can recover. That's a huge positive, obviously. IGV, you know, you guys know I like this. I forgot all about this. In fact, I don't even think I knew. Maybe I did subconsciously, but I forgot Palantir's in this. So we got to talk about this too. Big move. I've been telling people, people ask me in trading room, can we short the double top? I said, do not short Palantir. It's really strong. And into earnings, it was looking strong too. As far as the flows were, I didn't see anything negative in dealer positioning at all. And it actually blew up to the upside. So PLTR helping IGV out a lot, up 1.78%. Palantir is now, I believe, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15th largest company in the NASDAQ 100 now. And somebody mentioned in the trading room today, actually, it's up, I think, 67% since January 13th. Wow, big move. So Palantir helping out IGV. Again, here's your clear bull bear line right around, 105, 106 right there. The red bar high, the previous high, and we're just basing beneath that. So I like what IGV is doing. And I like what it looks, it's doing on the weekly. Higher lows. Yeah, we had a nice pullback, but all you did is amount to a 20 MA pullback. There's nothing wrong when you see that. So semi's weak, but IGV taking up the mantle again. And that's something we've been talking about since June of last year. Dow up, our transport's up 1.1. Technically still higher lows here on the daily, not by much. Not the greatest. We'll see what it does tomorrow, if it wants to go down for that trend line after all or not. Again, bonds here, again, strong. I've been telling you guys about this ZT pattern, bullish inside bar on the daily, and the farther you go out on the curve, the better it gets. There's ZF, the 5, ZN, 10s, and 30s ZB, which I still have a runner in this too. And this continues to work. If this breaks up, it's going to 116, possibly 118. If you want to call this, it's not the, maybe on the 4-hour, it's kind of got like an inverse head and shoulder type look. Nonetheless, if we just call it a measured move, if this breaks out on jobs tomorrow, you're looking at the 200 MA being in play. Jobs tomorrow or jobs Friday. This pattern is ready to go now, so that can go whenever it wants. So bonds looking good. TLT again, $90 I think does get hit. Bonus target is 93. XHB again up 82 cents, trying to make this into a higher low. Has not filled the gap though. So a little bit of a split, positive and a negative there. I think obviously if bonds do break out, that will be a tailwind. Same thing with VNQ. It's trying. It's got a sloppy base here now. Going to need some help. XLF down 12 cents. Nothing terrible there. Just off all-time highs. Financials here on the KRE, though, up 2%. So good move there for KRE, KBE. And broker-dealers holding up flat today. Oil got a bid this morning on the kind of Iran talks, but, I said this morning too, like it was going to bid anyway. We hit the 71 handle. We've been talking about that. 50 MA, 200 MA, pivots, right? I was kind of rooting for it to get to 70. It appears to 70. I would have definitely picked that up. But it did bounce there nonetheless, and you could see it was starting to put in a fat 4-hour divergence. So any sort of good news is going to pop this, and it got a pop. So good move there for oil. XLE up 2.1. Didn't quite clear the that earnings day high from Friday. If it does that, it can squeeze up a little bit more and confirm a pivot. There's XOP and OIH also having good days as well. Nice outside move on OIH. Just wiped out the last 4 days of selling. So good move there. CCJ up 6%. Nice pop. URNM, still inside of that red. You got to clear that to make that a failure, and the same thing with NJ. If these can clear that and negate that inside bar, they can squeeze up nicely. Nat gas down 3.8, so kind of reversing there. It did come off the lows. I have no interest in trading this. Dollar index down 90 basis points. Again, very good rejection there. We talked about the euro yesterday, and yeah, it came back in pretty sharp. You know, the euro USD got a pretty good bid. Let me go to the daily. There we go. Yeah, nice little divergent setup, and a good pop there. So dollar, you know, this is not what you want to see as a bull. This got rejected with a lower high, and it got rejected hard. And now Jolt's data this morning, not helping. So you're going to need a hot jobs to reverse this. Again, on the weekly, bears want to see a move down, take that low out to confirm a weekly lower low and a lower high. If that happens, we'd be looking at probably 106, maybe 105.50, or perhaps even, you know, this trend line here in that area. So watch that for clues. Gold here, new all-time high. Don't fight it. Silver up 1%. It did back off a little bit though. We'll watch this one for pattern. Platinum with a nice pop after the big outside move yesterday. That's the volatility in this. And then palladium down 3 1/4. So 1075 holding. Copper, another big day, up 1.3. Nice bull flag and nice pop. So possible WV now starting to confirm here. So copper looking pretty strong. Crypto, big tether print. I think there was a David Sachs interview that got a little bit of a sell afterwards. But overall, I'm looking at Bitcoin on the weekly. This looks really strong. This is the type of pattern I look for. I mean, I just don't see anything wrong. You got the 20 MA is caught up now. Unless something changes, that looks really good. And Ethereum with that big fat tail here. They announced this big print. Everybody front runs it. They get smoked, and then it bounces right back up. It was back above 2,800. And then it kind of came back in, but that's still kind of the bull bear line there. We'll see what happens here. It's not uncommon for these tails to retrace anyway. But we'll watch these. They are pulling back now. Incredible volatility there. So again, spiders right now just dipping below 6. That's still kind of the bull bear line. Let me see where Google's at. 190. AMD at 113. This one just can't get out of its own way here. And let me just take a look at NQ. So still holding up fine. CES. So still in this range right now. Russell futures still grinding higher. So nothing terrible there on either front. And we'll see what we get tomorrow. But yeah, just watch that bull bear line, 21.5 NQ and 600 spiders can be in positive territory. And again, we're only, what is this? 61.28. We're not even 100 points off of all-time highs. So you could make a case too. I mean, I'm just looking at this now. I mean, these patterns here are really not bad, right? I mean, is this just a cup and handle? We'll see. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.